What's up, y'all? This your boy Lucha guy, and I'm here with some damn news. Kind of sad and pathetic on Vince's part. He just, I guess, jumped in, because he's like some big billionaire now, some big shot, and he pretty much jumped in with some ROH special that was gonna be at Madison Square Garden in New York. Vince is still acting like this is like the territory days where certain promotions can't pop up on their turf, and if they do, he's gonna step in and he's gonna pretty much ruin it. It's like, what the fuck? And then Vince, like, for real, like, your top guys right now, like Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, these guys all came from Ring of Honor. So if Ring of Honor was never even a thing, you probably wouldn't have never even discovered a Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins or any of those kind of guys. Even Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk might be a bad example because he just beat them in a damn lawsuit, but yeah, he's acting like Ring of Honor can't be like doing shows. It's like big venues in New York. And it's like, look, Vince, you do not own Madison Square Garden, all right? Just because you're a big billionaire and you don't want to even take the risk of a possible threat. And I think this goes back to more of what's happening in Chicago with All In. This is more, I think, a slap back at Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks for trying to, do a big venue at Chicago for like All In. I think this is more of like a shot back at them. Because why else? They never really like focused on Ring of Honor before, as far as stopping them doing shows. I've heard stories of Vince doing this back in the day with WCW, ECW. I mean, hell, I even heard of recent stories in recent years where Vince stepped in and even had like TNA Impact. Why do you guys think Impact had a hard time jumping on networks? Yeah, I mean, really, why do you think Impact had a hard time, like getting canceled off Spike? I mean, you think that just happened randomly, or you think a certain millionaire at the time jumped in and it was some foul play? I will suspect some foul play. Why do you think Lucha Underground can only do like little warehouses? I know a lot of you guys who's not a fan of Lucha Underground laugh at the warehouses they're in. Why do you think there is? You think Lucha Underground, even if Lucha Underground could get like people to come out in New York for Madison Square Garden? Do you think Vince is going to let that happen? No, he's going to be paying money under the table for the people at Madison Square Garden not to run venues there for certain like smaller promotions or TV shows that's wrestling related. He's not going to take the risk of a threat, even though he's a billionaire at this point. In New Japan, he really will stop that, I'm sure, when they do those G1 Climax specials. But that's being done in like certain like parts, I guess, of like California that he might not have any say so in. Madison Square Garden been doing like business with Vince McMahon going back to like the little Hulkamania 80s boom period. So speaking of boom periods, why do you think there isn't a boom period? In order for a boom period to happen, there has to be competition. And with shit like this happening, there won't be no competition because Vince ain't even giving these guys a chance to possibly grow. He's seeing them trying to even get somewhat of buzz and he's shutting this shit down before it even happened. Like, what the hell, Vince? Like, for real. But you're just mad because nobody's showing up to fucking SmackDown and you're having to block off sections on fucking Raw and stuff because people aren't even showing up? Is that what this shit is about? Why else are you doing this to Ring of Honor? You mad because they may actually sell out more tickets than what you can do for SmackDown or little 205 Live or whatever the hell? Yeah, whatever. Fuck WWE. Fuck Vince McMahon. And just fuck what WWE stands for, alright? Just fuck them. Moving on to better things, alright? Now, on the next episode of Lucha Underground, you're going to be seeing Pentagon Dark versus Matanza Cueto. This will be for the championship. So 2 weeks in a row, we're seeing like championship matches. I'm just curious to like, what is this going to, like, is this going to be every week where Pentagon's defending the title? I mean, I'm sure this is going to be a awesome match. Sure it's going to be real crazy. I'm sure there's going to be, as every match, one thing people forget in Lucha Underground, every match there's like anything goes. I mean, anything goes in any match. So I'm sure it's going to be a violent match. Pretty crazy. I'm just curious how they're going to play off the Rey Mysterio thing. Because we last seen Rey. Rey was locked up in a cage with Matanza. So how's Matanza going to just pop up out of the cage without Rey Mysterio even being there? Unless Rey's going to come back for filming of it. Or they're just going to pretend Matanza just I guess ate them up or some ridiculous mess. I don't know. I'm curious how they're gonna play that off of Ray. Cause I mean, all day long WWE been posting stuff since June 19th. They keep saying 619. They keep hyping up Rey Mysterio. I'm hearing reports on dirt sheets that WWE is trying to get a multi-year deal out of Rey Mysterio. It's just WWE being desperate because they're running out of part timers. They just are. They're running out of, the Rocks and Stings. Those guys don't want to be, bothered. Sting had to retire. The Rock, he don't want to be bothered anymore. Batista's out doing movies. They're running out of stars. So now they got to look at Rey Mysterio. And I'm not trying to crap on Rey, but now they're having to beg Rey Mysterio to come in. Like, this is going to really be affecting ratings. I mean, with Rey there, he might boost up some ratings, but I don't see it doing, like huge, ratings where they're getting back to, even 4 million like they did for, Raw 25. I don't see that happening, but I do see them doing maybe somewhat of decent ratings. Maybe at first, because people want to see what kind of shape Ray is in. Even though Ray was in Lucha Underground and he was wrestling in Mexico, but some people don't see that. He appeared in New Japan a few times, but casual WWE fans don't know that. So from their standpoint, I guess Ray, they haven't seen him since 2014. So I'm curious how they're gonna play this thing off of Rey Mysterio tomorrow during the championship match. Alright, let me go on to something else. Now, I see Famous B, I see Brenda, and then I see the Trios Tag Champions. You can see the Mag there, you can see Killshot on the side, you can see Sons of Havoc. So my thing is, where the hell is Dante Fox? I understand he's still in Lucha Underground, but is he just MIA? Does he just not care? I mean, if he didn't care, why did he show up then at the Ultima Lucha with him? He didn't have to come out there with Killshot and the Mac. I mean, now he's just not at all unless he just wasn't available for the first set of tapings. That's the only thing I can assume, unless Dante Fox couldn't appear for the first set of tapings of season 4 of Lucha Underground, because it's just weird. Where the hell is this guy? And Sons of Havoc, they might not have much for him going on, so I guess this is just for something, just giving him something to do, basically, for Sons of Havoc, because right now certain guys, and then they just brought in all these new people, and then they're gonna have a hard time, I guess, balancing on some of these guys, so they're just throwing in people all over the place. And from what I've read, a lot of people was upset with the first episode. I didn't even think that first episode was that bad. I actually liked it, Aztec Warfare, on the first show. Some people was just disappointed. Some people was ranting. I don't understand what was the anger about. Only thing I disagree with is they should have hyped it up more. And it should have been saved at least for episode 5 or after a month in, because their first show, this like I said, the last time we seen them was Ultima Lucha Trace. That's after WrestleMania. WWE's first show was Royal Rumble. The Raw after the post Raw Mania, the Raw after WrestleMania. That's they're Vince saying, fuck that, we're just gonna do the Royal Rumble the next night. And it's what the hell? Yeah, I'm trying to think. They didn't really give us much, far as the show was over. Like I said, I called out a few things. King Chrono, he didn't even come out with the gauntlet. Is it gonna be some scavenger hunt? Because I seen, in the trailer, Katrina's gonna be in King Chrono's house looking for something. You already know it's the gauntlet. Another thing I called out bullshit was Vampiro turned heel at Ultima Lucha Trace. And then he sat there really quiet doing Aztec Warfare. He didn't even interfere at all. There was no interaction with him at Pentagon. There was no tension. It's you turn this guy heel during the finale of some cliffhanger, and come the first show back, the guy's quiet as fucking crickets. He was just, it was nothing, not even no mention of it. At least when season 2 came on, he had him he was acting like a zombie. He was in a doctor's office acting a fool. And then Matt Striker picked him up in the desert and shit. I just thought that was odd why there was no mention at all of Pentagon. Pentagon's heel turn. Pentagon sat there quiet, but this is just me talking about the season 4 episode 2 right now. I mean, you guys need to be watching Lucha Underground. It's still better than what's going on anywhere else. Only company you might can argue is doing better is New Japan, but that's a different topic for a different day. I'm gonna have to make a separate video on New Japan Pro Wrestling and what I talked about earlier, where Vince McMahon stopping these promotions from growing. It's just a guy, old man, who's just a billionaire. He don't got shit else to do with his money. Instead of him even hiring better writers, he's just giving out money to like these stadiums and shit, not to be running, indie promotion shows. Like, this is also a little problem for Lucha Underground. I'm shocked Lucha Underground made it to damn Netflix. I'm pretty shocked Vince didn't get in with that. Maybe he didn't know about it, because I'm sure he would have stopped Lucha Underground from going on Netflix. One thing with Netflix is a larger deal than the WWE Network. So really, Lucha Underground might even be ahead of. They might even be getting more people at least watching than what you think. Lucha Underground might be getting more views on Netflix than what the WWE is on like TV. But because Netflix has like damn near 90 million subscribers. Yeah. But this is your boy Lucha Guy. I'm out. Hit like and subscribe. Peace.